It's critical that we nail this, and it's really important because if the pendulum swings to the point where we hurt pubs, where we hurt our content creators, then content suffers and the free internet suffers. It's important to not just be champions for consumer privacy, but also be champions for the free internet. And it's a balance that we have to strike.
One thing I think that these new sort of identifiers actually bring to the market is they are truly sort of mapped to me. I think it's also important then to map those to a household. So your ID graph has to be very robust, has to be as precise as it can be, whether it's getting the TV in the household all the way down to the individuals of the household. But what I do think that allows you to do then is when you're looking at addressable targeting, you're able to then take those individual identifiers that you have of that person or that household and truly map that to what an advertiser is looking for.
It's not just about maintaining addressability, it's about massively improving addressability. When we run tests with some of our clients, they're seeing 30, 40, 50, 60% incremental reach by using IDs versus cookies. Not just like for the ones who don't have cookies, we can get some more. No, it's across the board, right? Like in a head-to-head competition, there is much more addressability with an ID5 ID than there is with a cookie. So it's gonna be much better.
Nothing will be exactly the same as the third-party cookies, but there are alternatives out there. It's never going to be one-to-one, and that's okay. I think, like I mentioned, it can create innovation in that front and really help maybe think about the industry in a certain light that is different than what we have today, and try new metrics that are different than what we have today, and maybe correlate more with what marketers want and their ROI as well.
I think personalization absolutely can thrive. There's all the kind of solutions that I talked about with alt IDs that we can use still for targeting and personalization. But also beyond that, think of the ways to personalize with context, with geo-contextual data. There's just so many ways that you can get creative with that. So I think in that sense, I'm quite optimistic about the scale of future solutions for targeting, just given that actually cookies are lower than we think. Publishers are really investing in these alternative IDs and how to scale them. And also just that piece of not needing to cookie sync between every different platform in the industry. I think that gives a lot of potential for a more optimistic view.
The fact that we are getting more authenticated traffic and more authenticated users gives us more fidelity in understanding what their needs are, and that gives us more confidence in the personalization strategies that we want to put in front of those audiences.
We may lose some signal. That said, the signal that we do have will be very, very strong. You may pay a premium to have that sort of addressable audience or that addressable paid media opportunity. However, it will warrant it because it'll have a very highly accurate, data-driven approach around tremendous content that you can actually then take and measure to or map to an outcome.
I think consumer data privacy is a very worthy cause to be solving for, because naturally we are the consumers, we are the viewers, we are the users, so we definitely want that to make sure that not only is a good user experience, but more importantly, we want to make sure our data, once sold one time, is not sold 1,000 times.
If you use data in the right way, the reason that it's there is so that you can deliver something more personalized. Not for the sake of it, but for actually to deliver some kind of value to the customer or the consumer.
So I do think they can coexist, and I do think personalization will thrive, because when you're acting and developing personalization based on what consumers have given permission for you to have, it should be a good experience that actually creates better engagement because it's relevant to them.